Do right, do me right, yeah. I need love, yeah. Knocking down my do right in the morning, do right in the evening, do right in the morning, do right.
We're on. And the first thing I would like to say is welcome home. It's such a privilege to have this in Glen Valley and the back country of the Alps in Victoria, Australia. The most asked question of people that come onto the property is, how on earth did you find this place? It immediately feels like home to a lot of people. My answer is succinct. Gray, my beloved, fell in love with this piece of land, and I fell in love with Gray. It was a very simple exercise. This was our beginnings. We met in 1995. And it was a bit of a fun meeting because I was very busy in a café in Warrandyte, and Gray wanted some advice on tourism, and I've been very passionate all my life about tourism because people live very busy lives and spend their very hard-earned dollar to have a little escape now and again and have some fun somewhere else. And I and Gray are very keen to continue that journey for people. So here in our hosted accommodation, we concentrate on people having a great time. This was our beginnings. When we married, we decided to follow each other's dreams. Gray's was to come up here and live. Mine was to go back to Europe. That had given me lots of wonderful times, and I wasn't quite sure why. Over the years, I've found out why, and we've incorporated all the things that I was looking for in Europe here at Payne's Hut. I do hope that you enjoy the space. We've put a lot of thought into it, and it is all to be enjoyed. Every square inch has been thought about. So we start here in our first site. We're in tents. It was very primitive, and that's the man I fell in love with. Can you believe it? Thankfully, he's fully clothed today. Just a little aside, we do have a vision of Gray. He was protecting my vegetable patch. So if you imagine a Cobra hat, Ugg boots, stark naked, stealthing around the yard with a gun, that has been burnt in my image in our early days. Now, we actually asked permission from the children to leave home, which was Melbourne, and they gave us all a marvellous farewell. It wasn't far along. I had many long hours here. Gray went up to the mountain to work, and I sat in the yard. There were times where at 5:30 the sun would go down, and he wasn't home till 8:30, and I was sitting in the dark on my own, away from family. I didn't know the neighbours well, and I spent many hours up here, and I learnt so much about me, the environment, and how important it was to have human voice. I think we underestimate each other in many instances. It was tough. It was sub-zero. We had no walls. The glass of water beside my bed was frozen solid. I'd had a cardiac arrest only months before we came up, so I was on a lot of medication, which dropped my temperature down, and I reiterate it was tough.
I'm sorry.
I'll ignore that. because it is an absolute privilege to live in this part of the country. As we moved along, I'm not sure what these next are, the bushfires. We were here a few years and the bushfires were pending. I won't go into it in detail, but we found community. The bushfire took 19 days to arrive, and my gorgeous brother Graham came up and helped us fight the fire. We had no water, there were 4 of us. We had great bonding through that period. It was the first time I felt, I say the word community, but the word community is bandied around a fair bit, and I'd like to call it a collective. There's a collection of people up here that have been absolutely superb, and Payne's Hut would not be what it is today without them. I couldn't count the amount of people that have actually put in to this project. I learnt to open my heart and my attitudes to giving and receiving. It's very difficult to receive when you don't know people and you feel that there might be some obligation, so you say no because you're not quite sure what that price might be. What I found up here is what I'm sure you've all found in your communities, is giving and receiving in very big circles. And so the giving out, the receiving is really important as well, because you're not allowing other people to give if you won't receive. And we have been receiving abundance from all different areas. There are 2 people that I would really like to name. One is a 91-year-old aunt who's not well at the moment, but she saw the potential in what we were doing and lent us some funds to build the bridges. And they're not only bridges with finance, they're literally the bridges. They're bridges between a sense of no hope and a lot of hope. So we were able to then build on that our project with her love and support. Her name's Beryl McKean, and anyone that comes from the Castlemaine area will know Beryl. She had a small purse, but she has given a lot of people money, and her money would have turned into millions of dollars, because her thing is she gets her money back so she can then give it to someone else to trigger off, a little bit like Possible, but she did it on her own and in her own way. She supported, just recently at 91, she's been organising 3,000 biscuits, Anzac biscuits, to go to all the people in jail in Castlemaine. She has worked with drug rehabilitation. Her mind is very open to the world as it is today. She is one of my mentors. Spring came in our project when we met our beloved Sammy Bell. I'm going to cry. Sam and Gray and I worked up on the mountain on a project. I have 2 minutes left. Sammy, I love you, and I thank you for giving us. One last thing I would really like to say, because this is on film, and I would like to inspire everyone. Where tourism's concerned, we've based this business on being connected with nature, with the local history, the culture. I am very, very proud of our Australian culture, and I really would like everyone to be proud of that. We don't have to mimic any other country. We have everything we need here in our own country. Open-hearted hospitality to me is very important, because if you give something and remember you've given it, you haven't given it at all. If you don't give it to the universe and forget you've given it, it's no gift. A high standard facility, we have endeavoured to give the highest, that we can possibly give with the funds available for people's comfort. We respect every dollar that people give to Payne's Hut, we know is hard earned, because even if you've been inherited it, it is hard to keep these days because everything has become very expensive. So I thank all those that put every dollar, and there's many, many people that have put effort and dollars in to this wonderful space. Thank you. Sorry for...
I've been thinking how the hell I can follow that. All I can do to you now is say, welcome. Welcome to the door to the future. In the words of a mentor to Temple Grandin, a girl in the 60s who was autistic. If you know her, please enjoy her. But her mentor said that in actual fact every challenge in life is like a doorway. And the secret is to open that doorway and go through to a new life and see it as a new world. You can either master it or you can bow down and back off and walk away from it. I initially was asked to stand up here and just talk about our journey. Most of our journey's been done. That's probably me at some of my happiest times thanking this lady. We met, as she said, in Warrandyte over a tourism issue, and Tess is probably the greatest thing, apart from my children, that's ever happened to my life. Because, like most of us, we've had a bit of hardship and times, and I've been lucky, and so has Tess. We've both been lucky enough to have two lives. The life we lived before we were 50 and learning how to be born and bred here, get friends, lose friends, get married, break marriages, have children, various issues. All of those have culminated in the fact that Tess and I have been given a second chance at life to do it the best way possible we can, to share it with you all. And we hope that you sincerely enjoy what you're doing. The way you're speaking to me in some cases, I can see that you are. When I say this is a time when I'm happy, I'm actually on the roof of the bloody veranda out here. And I guess the essence is that I enjoy building and creating. This lady has the ability to see and create ambience, and she has given me the ability, the feminine side of me, to be free within a structured building industry and environment in an area like this. To be free to do and try everything. I remember in my children's upbringing, I remember saying whenever my kids came to me and said, oh, I can't do this, Dad, and I can't do that, my question or to them was, well, how do you spell can't? I always answered it with try, T-R-Y. I was fortunate enough a few years ago when I was 57 to be having trouble doing a bolognese sauce, or a hollandaise sauce, sorry. I went back to school to get a ticket to be a chef so I could work in a kitchen, which I was already working in. Well, the bloke gave me a job. I said, I'll do it. Yeah, okay. Anyway, I was at school and I couldn't get this bloody hollandaise sauce to work. Couldn't get to work. I rang up Troy and I said, oh, Troy, I can't get this in there. How do you spell try? Can't, Dad. Thanks, mate. Anyway, I could go into histories, I can go into stories about how we got here and why, but this has been a culmination of male and female. It's been a combination of two people, high feminine, high male in both of us, and the freedom to be who we are and to develop what we have got. And the other side of that is that we live in a community of 12 people. I know there's a few others have crept in the recent times, but they have not become community as we all seem to understand it. The first speaker last night spoke about the success of peace was in smaller environments. Now, each one of us represent a portion of human society. We all offer a demographic to that society. We are runaways from that society. But I can assure you the 12 people that live out here that we work with are all representative of the different demographics. Those demographics are working together in unity. A man up here one day approached me and he said, you were going to use some blocks for your bloody cellar, weren't you? I said, yeah, I was. Yeah, I was thinking about it. I got a deal for you. I'll buy the blocks for your cellar if you do the work for my cellar and my scriptorium. Oh, yeah? Yeah, I reckon we can work something out. So $2.5 grand's worth of blocks arrive at my front doorstep on pallets, ready to do my block. Might be $6,000 or $7,000 around at his place. I go and do 80 hours of labour for him. We get the thing done. We're both happy. He's happy. I'm happy. Next day, we're back here at my place. We're doing the base of a cellar. Guess who arrives? The bloke I work with. No questions, no asks. He just arrives and says, yeah, I'm here to help. I'll mix the mud. You lay the bricks. So I end up with a cellar. I haven't finished the bloody thing yet, but I'm still trying. And that to me is Gordon Perry up the road, another man. Gorgeous fella. Oh, the person I, of course, mentioned before is my favourite friend, Ed Perry, up the back there. Thanks, Ed. At Gordon Perry up the road, got a sawmill. Got some loggers coming in. We're clearing the road for the highway. And look at the whole thing, getting it all going. So trees come down, mill come up, we get the logs delivered to the house. The truckies brought them home for us. It was really great. We cut all the timber up. Most of those verandas and buildings you got out there, they're all built with local timber from here. There's a door handle on the top of the hall, which you have not yet been in to see, where the girls are running the do committee upstairs in the long room. There's a door handle up on top of the wall. I thought I'd bloody well leave it there. The main reason is that door handle is the doorway to what is possible. If you're prepared to get off your backsides and have a go at whatever crazy idea it is you've got in your heads, get off your arse and go and do it. Thank you.